Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to Anime King 3, and today I'm going to be giving you part 3 of What If Naruto Awakened His Memories and Powers at the Land of Wave. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends in your social media platform, and also guys, if you're new, remember to go ahead and check out the other channels. Yes guys, I indeed have 4 of them. Anime King, Anime King 2, Anime King 3, and Anime Prince. All of the links will be down in the description for you guys to go ahead to check them out and enjoy guys. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification to see exactly when I post. So without further ado, wasting more time, what do you say we jump right into this new episode? Begin now guys. So the last spot we left off, Kakashi was keeping a curious eye on Naruto as they were heading back from Land of Wave. Ever since that mission, Naruto had changed a lot, as he figured that he'd report back into the Hokage about what he had saw so far. At first he believed that it was the Kyuubi, but he did not sense any of that malice. But he was still unsure exactly what it was, and Kakashi was worried to Naruto's change. However, as they were heading back, they came across a scene as a girl was being kidnapped, taken back to the camp, as Naruto did not want to go at first. But after the other two talked, he simply accepted the fate. Kakashi went to scout out the bandit camp, as a few girls here was kidnapped in Land of Fire. It was their civil duty to help them out, so Kakashi told them to be the distraction. From what he has seen, everyone here was a bandit, none of them higher than a D-rank ninja, so his team should be plantless. So with that, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura became the distraction. As they caused a lot of distraction making, the bandits turned their gaze towards them as Kakashi went to free all of the prisoners. However, Naruto separated from them as he made his way. Kurumi told him to head towards the center tent, which he did. Arriving in there, Naruto saw the leader of this bandit group, a rather large man, with 3 girls lying on top of him. The man woke up as Naruto stomped in his throat, killing the man before he could even do anything. He then proceeded towards the chest. One of the girls got up to run, however Naruto threw a kunai right through her skull, so she wouldn't alert the others. The 2 other girls remained to be sleeping, acting like they were fast asleep because they didn't want to die. As Naruto searched the chest and found golds, money, and also scrolls, Kurumi sent information to his memory, as Naruto was able to create a sealing scroll and seal every single item away. When he met back with his team, they asked him where he was because Sakura and Sasuke said that they didn't see him, as Naruto said that he was going around the place, was big after all. However, the both of them did not seem to believe him for that, but he didn't seem to care what they think as he simply made his way. So with that, they arrived back to Konoha, as once the debriefing was over, Kakashi turned his suggestion towards Naruto as he told Hiruzen what happened at the Land of Wave, as Naruto faked ignorance, saying that he saw these black lightning and then a white light and he didn't remember much. Hiruzen was cautious, yes he was, as he narrowed his gaze towards Naruto. There was something about Naruto that was putting him on edge. Once they were gone, Hiruzen had Nico watch Naruto. Nico had been watching Naruto since he was younger, as Hiruzen had gave her that job. Now she had him watch him again, as something was off. However, Inoichi swore to him that the memories would not come back. After all, they had sealed them away completely and erased them, and the power, it had just resurfaced. As Hiruzen still did not know what kind of power Naruto had, none of his parents had any bloodline, so about that he was quite curious himself. So with that out of the way, Naruto finally got to sit down with Kurumi as she told him everything. It turns out that the first faction of Uzumakis were quite brutal. They were always looking for a way to get stronger, that is why they combine their blood with even in breathing, trying to push their bloodline down to create a army of perfect warriors with all of their utility and bloodlines. However, it had never awakened in all of them. They usually get one or two, but not all. However, Kurumi was a missing link. It turns out that she had used her human form to scout the world, that is why. Well, most tail beasts were not seen while they were in their gigantic form because they shrunk down, as they store their power away as well. Upon doing so, she had made friends with Uzumaki that knew who she was. However, the woman didn't see her as a monster. As much as she disliked most of the clans in the world, she did not dislike the Uzumakis, who told her the story and told her about the past. And also, Kurumi saw a lot of things. Sealing techniques that would make sealing masters nowadays look like a novice. As she was going to teach at all to Naruto, Naruto asked her what did she want to do with him. She wanted him to become the greatest. She wanted him to fix the mistake that her father made. The Sage of Six Paths was wrong when he gave everyone chakra, as she wanted Naruto to change that. As she wanted to stand at his side, as he did so as well. As who was Naruto to turn this down? So they started to begin his training. First, Naruto went towards the Higurashi shop as he paid the man a large sum for a special made blade. The iron that the man had to get was extremely rare. However, the amount of money that Naruto gave him, he quickly got back on target. It turns out that it was Tenten's father. She came out and saw the blonde walking away as she wondered which kid their age was such good in kinjutsu to offer her father so much money to make a crafted blade like this. While that was going on, Hiruzen was worrying. There was 6 months until the Chunin exams because of the early graduation this year, so they had time to train and time to get better. The generation now had to be taking part in the exams. After all, everyone wanted to see the last Uchiha. As Kurumi had a lot of plans for Naruto also, they had plans for other people as well. As Naruto found out that the man that had sealed his memories was Inoichi, and he had a daughter. Both her and Naruto used to be in the academy. Her name was Ino Yamanaka. As Naruto bumped into her accidentally. Well, it wasn't really an accident. He planned this because Naruto had something big planned. Soon Konoha, no, the entire world, will know the name Naruto Uzumaki. So yeah guys, basically that's what I thought. If you guys can switch across the place for yourself. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the brand new series over on Anime King, Anime King 2, and Anime Prince. I hope you guys enjoy each and every one of them. So without wasting more time, what do you say? We jump right into this new episode. Begin now guys. The Chunin exams are normally held every 6 months through the Elemental Nation. Other villages hosting it. However, because of some mistakes in Taki, the former Chunin exam before this one was delayed, and the time frame had been messed up. That is why the graduates graduated early. It would seem that way, but it was not. It was in fact that the Chunin exams was late. That is why they had to wait for a few months. However, the Jonin senseis were happy for this. It would give them chance to teach their students and make them better than before, to make sure that they were able to handle the threats that were gonna come. In the previous Chunin exams, most of the major nations did not get involved. However, in this one, it seems that many of them want to see the growth of the other nations, especially Konoha. Konoha was always known to breed talented ninjas. One of them, for example, was the Hyuga Prodigy. The other one was the Uchiha Prodigy. As the younger generations was coming on well, they had months to train, months to get stronger, and they had put in the work, most of them that is. At the moment, in a secluded town, this town was famous for their shipping, as they supplied Konoha with a lot of goods. However, recently there was an ambush by a few bandits. While the town was rather resourceful, they didn't have a ninja village, that is why Konoha was their protection. So the moment Konoha found out that someone was messing with their goods, they sent a team out there to eliminate the thugs. They were just thugs, so they just sent the Genin team. Well, the best Genin team, which was surprisingly Team 7. Considering that the members on that team was a wild card, all people knew of was the great Uchiha Prodigy. Many people thought that it was him. He was the one that made Team 7 the best team. Their mission record was flawless. Every single mission that they had taken over the past few months had been done 100%. successfully. They haven't had a failed mission since they began their careers as genins. That is what set them aside from the other teams. All of the other teams, even Guy team, had a failed mission. However, Team 7 had none, which set them apart. At the moment though, things went chaotic so quickly. The young Sakura Haruno flashed through hand sign as quickly as she possibly could before she slammed her hand down. Earth style, she said, Earth wall. Upon seeing that, the Earth wall rose up and slammed right into the 4 bandits in front of her. She proceeded to spin around as a few more came from her from the back. However, they were burned as someone landed, showing that it was none other than the Uchiha prodigy. Sasuke had 2 Tomo in each eye. He was almost on his way to unlocking the 3rd, as Sasuke had gotten a whole deal stronger in the past couple of months. Not just him alone though, Sakura as well. There was some changes that made her take her training a bit more seriously. Her nature was earth, and Kakashi taught her a lot of defensive and offensive earth jutsus, which she was using to keep herself as a balanced member of this team. However, it was just the 2 of them. That is when they saw a bright spark over to the side. Their sensei, Kakashi Hatsuki, arrived on the scene. He noticed the both of them as he asked, "Where is Naruto?" A distance away from them, a woman sat in a little cottage, as she was here on a mission. She had light blue hair and dark eyes, as she was wearing a green battle yukata, red shorts underneath, and thigh-high boots. Her name was Gurin Lanky. She was Orochimaru's subordinate, one of his worshippers, one of those people that saw Orochimaru as a god, and willing to do whatever it takes to please him. It was her job to clear out this entire town resource. Orochimaru had a bigger plan in mind. There was many things that her lord was up to, and she would not fail him. However, he was unable to spare his men, because he had something big coming up very soon. So she had to use a few low-level, worthless ninjas. Think of them as bandits because they were pretty useless. However, they were strong enough to overpower civilians, and they were getting the job done. As she was here simply relaxing, that is when she felt something as the door swung open. Someone rushed inside. Gurin-sama, he said. She could hear his voice. His voice was filled with absolute fear. "We have a problem. Konoha ninjas are slash." The man was cut off instantly. Gurin watched as she saw blood leaking from the man's neck. However, he did not move, his eyes closed. He was still on his feet. His head then slipped off his shoulders and fell to the ground. Gurin then sniffed as she smelt it. Blood. However, it wasn't from this man. That is when she saw the individual stepped in. He had blonde hair that was lowered down to his back. 2 bangs that framed inside his face. His headband was used to keep them perfectly at the side and out of his face. His golden eyes flickered back to blue. He was stained in blood, something that seemed to really upset him. However, at the same time, he didn't seem to care about the man that he just slaughtered without a single second of hesitation. His eyes were cold, unfeeling, merciless. He was wearing a black t-shirt with a red symbol on the chest. It was like a swirl. The black long-sleeve shirts had a jacket over it. It was like a jacket and a coat at the same time, because it came down, and Gurin couldn't see a damn thing inside, which was rather weird seeing that she could see the black t-shirt underneath but she could not see anything under the jacket. It was like the sides of the jacket was pure darkness. He was wearing black pants with a lot of pockets on it, and black sandals. He looked up towards her with a smile. "I'm guessing you're in charge," he said to her. As he stepped inside, Gurin understood the meaning of fear. Orochimaru Sama, when he was angry, he was the most fearful man in the entire world. However, simply looking into this child's eyes, Gurin felt a sensation that she needed to run, despite how powerful she was. He was no older than 14, and yet the sensation to run was so much, she actually felt her body trying to get out of there. However, she remained calm as he looked at her, his blue eyes seeming to pierce into her soul. Gurin then noticed a blade in his hand. It was like nothing she has ever seen before. The handle was white, with strange red markings like the one in his shirt across it. However, the blade, it was black, like obsidian, as she noticed a few yellow streaks in it, as it was a bit pulsating like it was alive. She focused on the blade as she looked up toward his face. He looked so unthreatening, at the same time he felt so dangerous. He walked over, as he then walked to the side away from her. However, to her surprise, he sat down. So, am I correct to assume that you're the leader? Immediately, something formed over her hand, as Naruto focused on it. Impressive. Now that's a nifty little ability you have there. Gurin launched the crystal blade towards his face. However, slice. To her shock, it exploded into pieces. As his blade sliced it into pieces, her crystals were durable, powerful, and yet he broke it so easily. It wasn't just that he was strong. That blade, it was special, she could tell. I see. I guess you're no little wannabe shinobi. My crystals are not that easy broken. However, fight me, and you will still die, she said to him. The look on his face never changed. A flat smile that seemed to be a little off-putting. It wasn't forced or anything, but it was just, she couldn't stand it. However, she knew where there is one, there is more. As she knew that more Konoha shinobi will be here very soon. She didn't have time for this as she started to walk away. If he knew what was good for him, he would not try to attack her. However, he got up before she could reach the door. I'm afraid that we're not done yet. Oh, well I am, she said. She flashed through hand sign. Immediately, the little cottage exploded. As Naruto jumped away, a dragon made from crystal was hovering around Gurin. As I was gonna say, I don't have time for this, so I suggest you just run away before I have to kill you. Quite arrogant, said Naruto. You know, I merely wish to talk. Do you think of me as a fool, she said. I know exactly what you're trying to do, buying time for your friends to get here. But that's not gonna work. Oh, that's where you're wrong, said Naruto. I could give a damn whether they get here or not. What I'm more interested in is you. I'm surprised that someone like you would lead the initiative to go after Konoha supplies. But a part of me believes that that is not the truth. That there is someone behind the scenes. Someone that gave you this mission. Gurin gaze narrowed, however, she remained calm. So then that begs to differ. Who gave you this order to attack Konoha supplies? Do you really think I'll tell you that? No, said Naruto. From the way you carry yourself, I can tell that you'd rather die than give up your employer. Well, I'm glad that you know. Before you go though, was it Orochimaru? The moment he said that word, the dragon rushed towards him at high speed. He stood there as Gurin watched him, expecting him to be skewered and ripped apart. However, he raised his blade up in the air. The dragon quickly twists and dives on the ground, as the ground beneath him split open as the dragon mouth was about to devour him. And he allowed it. But a second later, the dragon exploded, forcing Gurin to shield her eyes as dust and debris picked up. She jumped away out to the foliage, making sure to clear as much distance between them as possible. That is when she felt a blade press up against her throat. I wouldn't do that if I were you. She stopped midway of creating her crystal, shocked at how he moved so fast. Now, let's have a proper conversation, shall we? Before she could say anything, gripped her hand, and they were gone. In a flash of black lightning, a Sunshin, a modified version that is. A few seconds later, Kakashi arrived on the scene. As he looked around, tracking the evidence where Naruto had gone. Damn it. Where are you? He said as he looked around, as he couldn't find Naruto anywhere. A far distance away, Gurin reappeared as she felt a strange sensation. It felt like her body had been zapped. She stumbled on her feet as she fell over. She tried to form her technique, however, she found that her chakra was not working so well. Confused by this development, she noticed there was something on her leg. A chain. A black chain that was as dark as his blade. The chain then receded back into him. As she felt her chakra returning back to her, but she still could not form a damn thing. She growled in anger as she reached, trying to find anything to defend herself. However, he sheathed his blade, confusing her. As I said, I just wish to talk. What the hell do you want? She said to him. Well, just answer me this. Was it Orochimaru that sent you to do this? Gurin refused to answer. You know, if I wanted you dead, I would have done it already. She clenched her fists. Just because you caught me off guard. Don't think that it will happen again, she said, jumping to her feet. However, Naruto simply ignored her, showing that he meant no harm as he looked away. They will be here soon. Just answer that one question and I won't pursue anymore. You said it before, I'm loyal to whoever employ me. Do you think I'll just give them up like that? Ah, I see, said Naruto. Well, thank you. What? I didn't give you anything. You gave me more than you know, said Naruto. You should really get out of here. My sensei is Kakashi Hatake. You're strong, however. He will still win. Besides, to not draw suspicion, I'll have to fight as well. Gurin narrowed her eyes at that, as Naruto was looking at her, but he saw that she heard what he said carefully. She then took off before he could say another word. A minute or two later, Kakashi landed. As he saw Naruto back turn to him. Naruto, he said. As Naruto turned a smile. What is it, Sensei? What happened? Why did you run off like this? Kakashi asked in demanding tone, as Naruto has been doing some reckless things lately. Well, the enemy was leaving, so I pursued. However, this person was not like the bandits. They were much stronger. A guy with dark hair and blue eyes, similar to mine. He got away though, said Naruto. His blade was already sheathed, but you could not even tell because the darkness in his cloak prevent you from seeing a damn thing. Kakashi breathed a sigh of relief. As long as you're okay, but next time, don't just run off like that on your own. And this isn't the first time I'm telling you that. You can seriously get yourself killed out here. As Naruto looked at him, for a few seconds he said nothing at all. Kakashi felt that feeling that he's been getting over the past couple of months. This Naruto was so much a change. Yes, I understand, said Naruto. Shall we go now? Kakashi sighed. Come on, he said, let's go. Time skip. Ah, Gurin. What took you so long? As Orochimaru turned, Aron is here to look at her. I apologize, my lord, she said. We were only able to get half, and we were unable to destroy the town. Reinforcements arrived. It seems that they were able to get message back to Konoha. Ah, I'm disappointed, Gurin. I thought that you of all person would have completed the job, but I guess I was wrong, said Orochimaru in a disappointed tone, as Gurin quickly bowed her head. I apologize, she said, but things did not go the way that we expected. Konoha ninja arrived sooner than expected, and with the thugs that were there, they were unable to put up a proper fight. I'm not sure how much they were, but there was a team consisting of Kakashi Hatake, the copy ninja. Ah, Orochimaru said, the sheep in wolf clothing. Well, at least you got away to serve me and make up for it. Isn't that right, Gurin? He said. Yes, Orochimaru-sama, she said, in a respectful tone. There was something else though, she said. What is it? He asked, turning his head away. A child. He was no older than 14 years old. He had blonde hair with whisker marks. That caught Orochimaru's attention as he turned. Did you just say whisker marks? Yes, my lord. He did not give me his name, however. For a child his age, he was fast. He was extremely powerful. There was something off about him. I could not quite put my finger on it. What about this child is so interesting? Asked Orochimaru. Somehow he knew about you, my lord. As Orochimaru raised eyebrow. He knew about me, he said. Confused by that. He was asking me who was my employer. figuring that I could not do this on my own. I have no idea how he linked that back to you, however, he was able to figure it out. I did not tell him anything. However, he had this smug look on his face like he already knew what was going on. But there was something that he said that makes me believe that he's not 100% with Konoha. Oh? And what exactly is that? Asked Gurin. Back at the Hidden Leaf, Sarutobi Hiruzen was behind his desk. As he rifled through a few papers, he leaned back. There was a lot of work to be done today. His eye caught sight of the photo on the wall. The photo of Minato Namikaze, his predecessor, that had lost his life. As he was thinking about Minato's son, Naruto Uzumaki, over the past few months Naruto had changed drastically. Hiruzen was worried at first, believing that Naruto had remembered what happened to him when he was younger. However, from what he heard from Kakashi about the wave mission and Naruto's new prospect on things, Hiruzen kind of believed that that was the big change in his life. That was a twist. But a part of him still believed that Naruto knew more than he was letting on. A part of him just wouldn't let it go. Naruto had changed drastically. For one, he purchased a blade. Not just any normal blade though. He had it crafted by one of the top weaponsmiths in the village. No one has taught Naruto Kinjutsu. Kakashi, while he used blade in Anbu, he was no Kinjutsu master, and yet Naruto was using the blade proficiently. He had Yuji watch them for a long while, and she also followed them as they exit their way towards their mission. And she saw him fight. Kakashi has also reported back how brutal Naruto became. For a young child who was always happy. However, that one night, but despite that he was always happy, and Naruto wasn't the kind of person that would kill people without any remorse, but now, he became brutal, efficient, deadly. That was all the traits for a good shinobi, but Naruto wasn't any normal person. That is why Hiruzen was worried. And how was he learning these things? Whenever he was asked, or Hiruzen tried to pry information out of him, he said practice makes better, as he had gave Hiruzen no other chance to doubt him. Hiruzen knew if he started to force answer out of him, the boy would just become more suspicious, so he decided to just allow it to progress and have Naruto be watched. But it doesn't matter how much time that he's been watched. There is nothing, no changes. He's done nothing that would be seen out of the ordinary by any of his envoys or Kakashi. That led Hiruzen to believe that something else was going on. How was Naruto becoming so strong? That literally made no sense at all, and Hiruzen just couldn't figure it out. However, his growth had allowed Team 7 to become one of the strongest teams, having zero mission failure at all. While that was a good thing, Sarutobi couldn't help but worry about Naruto and about the whole thing. And not to mention, Inoichi was also getting worried by the relationship that was building between his daughter and one Naruto Uzumaki. The group had recently came back from a mission, as Naruto once again had strayed off a bit away from the group. While he hasn't done anything too out of the way, he had become cold with his teammates, even with his sensei, talking back at certain points, and moving in and going against some orders. As Hiruzen had tried his best to reprimand Naruto for this, for following the actions and not going off by his own. And Naruto simply looked at him in the eyes, that unnerving look that got Hiruzen feeling unsettling, and simply agreed that he wouldn't do it again. There was just something wrong with the child, and Hiruzen just didn't know what it was. Meanwhile that was going on, Inko Yamanaka, wife of Inoichi Yamanaka, looked towards her husband with a stern look. Is it really so bad for them to be friends? Said Inko. It's been months now. And besides, he treated her nice. It's not like they're dating or anything. If they were, Ino would have told me. I don't see what is the big deal. While I understand what the boy carries, you yourself should understand how great the fourth Hokage was at sealing. He was a seal master, greater than Jiraiya-sama himself. I don't see why you should be so worried, said Inko as she looked towards her husband Inoichi. As Inoichi looked away, they'd had this conversation, more like fight, several times before. It started a few months ago, something that confused and shocked him. Flashback. As Inko was preparing a meal, when Inoichi came in, their daughter had had a conversation with them this morning. "So, who do you think it is?" said Inko. "I don't know," said Inoichi. However, she specifically said over and over again that this guy is a friend. But why would she be inviting a friend over like this? To have dinner and meet us? Inoichi said. Inko simply laughed at that. "Are you worried, honey, that he will take your baby girl away?" As he turned his head and huffed. As spoiled as Ino is, she will always be that little girl. "I don't believe that any boy will take her away. Besides, it's good for her to have friends. Having friends in a shinobi career, having people that you can count on, to have your back is a good thing, isn't it?" Inko said. "Yeah, I suppose you're right." His daughter came to them this morning, telling them to set a extra plate as she wanted to invite a friend over. Usually it was a girl like Sakura, however this time it was a boy. She had not even invited Sasuke Uchiha over ever, and Inko heard her talk about Sasuke almost all the time. So at first she thought it was him, but Inko had asked if it was Sasuke, but Ino did not elaborate, telling them that it was a surprise, a new friend. So that meant it was not Sasuke, and she and Sakura was not friends from the last time Inko remember, but now they were friends again. As Inko wondered what was the big change, Inoichi did not like that. For his precious girl to even start looking at boys, more or less dating right now. "Mom, Dad, I'm home." Her voice came as she entered the house. As Inoichi stepped out there, as he was gonna put on the alpha male role, to show this to the punk whoever he was that his little girl was to be. Inoichi paused. As he saw someone that he was not expecting to be standing there. Naruto here was in the process of growing out. It reached at his shoulders. His blue eyes had this warmth about them. He was wearing a nice dress in blue shirt, black pants, and sandals, formal and casual at the same time. As Ino looked towards him with a smile. "Hey Dad," she said. "This is Naruto Uzumaki, the friend I was telling you about." "Ah, Mr. Yamanaka," said Naruto. "It's good to see you again." "Wait, you know my dad?" said Ino. "Well, not really, but I've seen him before," said Naruto. "He was assigned to help me to find out if I had a bloodline." "Oh," she said, as Naruto already told her a few things. Ino then noticed. Dad? What's wrong?" she said. It took him a while to snap out of his frozen state. "Oh, nothing," he said. "I'll be right back. It was good to meet you, Naruto Uzumaki. Formally." "Yes, I too," said Naruto. The man walked to the kitchen. As immediately, he grabbed his wife's hand and pulled her away into a storage room right there. "What's wrong?" she said, as Inko was confused and a bit scared. "It's Naruto Uzumaki." "Naruto Uzumaki? Where have I... Wait, that boy?" "Yes, it's him." "Oh," said Inko looking to the side. "I never thought that." "Me neither. This is bad. We have to nip this in the butt right away. We have to..." "Why?" said Inko confused. "Honey, you and I both know, yes, he has a Kyuubi seal inside of him, right? But the fourth Hokage is a seal master, so we shouldn't be worried. Besides, it's not like we're like the other idiots of this village that say that child is a monster. Come on, you should know better. He has already been through so much. Let's just talk to him first before we jump to any conclusion. It's not like they're dating or anything, they're just friends." "You're taking this too lightly," said Inoichi. "Look, that child has been put through living hell," she said, looking at Inoichi. "I know that it's hard to see him here with her, but let's just see where this is going. Let's just try to understand the relationship that they're having at the moment before we jump to any conclusions, alright? Besides, Ino seemed to like this boy. As a friend," she said, correcting her statement in the end. "So let's not just do anything that will make her come to hate us," said Inko. Unlike the other people of the village, Inko did not see Naruto as a monster. The reason being, she had known the fourth Hokage Minato when he was younger. And she had a little bit of crush on him. Yes, she had. Minato was like the dream guy. Inko had dropped out of the Shinobi program once she had Ino to raise her. As she never liked fighting, she had married into the clan. But she never liked fighting at all. Minato was perfect in every way. It was hard to compare other people to him. However, she had fell in love with Inoichi. And Minato was a seal master, she knew that. There was no way in hell that his seals would ever fail. Besides, it's been like 13 years, right? And the child was still here and okay. And nothing was wrong. So maybe they were just giving him a hard break, and besides, he's a ninja now, fighting every day to risk his life for his village. She knew that it was hard for her to think of the prospect of fighting, so she respected people that go out there all the day and risk their life. She respected those people very well. That is why she at least wanted to give him a chance. Just a single chance she wanted to give him to make sure that, well, they're just getting along nicely, and he's not a threat. As Inoichi stepped out, he took a breath as Inko exited. As she saw the boy there, "Hello there," she said. He slowly turned to face her. "Oh hi," he said. "You must be Naruto Uzumaki. I am Inko Yamanaka. It's a pleasure to meet you." Naruto took her hand and shook it. "It's a pleasure to meet you as well." As he looked at her with his look in his eyes, "Is there something wrong?" "No, it's just I can now see where Ino gets her beauty from." She giggled a bit. "You flatter me," she said. "Well, I just merely say what I see," said Naruto with a smile. His smile was so nice and calm, for someone who had went through a lot when he was younger. Well, at least he seemed to be happy now. End of flashback. Since that day, Naruto came over more than once, as he had quickly became friends with the family. As Inoichi had spent every living day to make sure that nothing happened between them. He watched, he peeped. Ino was his baby girl. It wasn't that he hated Naruto or worried about the fox. What he was afraid of was the mindset that Naruto had when he was younger. Despite completely erasing that mindset, perhaps there's a chance of it still being there when he is treated badly. However, that has been a rare thing nowadays because he was a ninja now. But still, Inoichi did not like that one bit. So much so that he went to the Hokage to speak about this matter rather heatedly. However, there wasn't really anything Inoichi wanted the Hokage to do because that would just come right back at him, as Naruto and Ino would have questions. And his baby girl seemed so much happier these days, but he just couldn't help but worry. While that was going on, as Ino and Sakura met up at the local tea shop. A few months back, Ino had approached her, apologizing for ending their relationship because of Sasuke. She wanted to be friends once again. Sakura was beyond shocked as she never expected that in her wildest dreams. However, she quickly accepted, and they became friends once again. Since then, Ino has been acting strange, asking her about her team progress, how they were coming along. She was even asking about Naruto. However, for Sakura, Naruto was a complicated topic. He had stopped asking her out completely, and he became harsh and cold. He also started to dress different, and he also looked a lot different as well with his long hair. And his face seemed to have been slimmed down, the baby fat was gone. She also once saw him with a shirt and she had to say, his body was well toned and muscular. He seemed to have been working out hard for the past few months. She had decided to get stronger as well. She knew that she had gotten a bit stronger, but she wasn't anywhere near to Naruto or Sasuke level yet. They had been on a few more missions outside the village, and Naruto was stronger than she ever thought. But Sasuke-kun was still a greater, she thought to herself. But Ino was asking more about Naruto. And just a minute ago, once again she asks, "Ino, don't take this the wrong way, but is there something going on between you and Naruto?" Why would I take that the wrong way? Well, he's a goof, idiot, but I'm just saying, he's not a goof or idiot. He's a nice person if you get to know him. Wait, is something going on? Look, me and Naruto have become friends. Since when? A few months back, we bumped into one another, and he decided to take me to get some, well, dango to repay me for bumping me over. I accepted and, well, we became friends. He's even been over my house a few times. Really? Sakura said, completely shocked by that. Yeah, and look, he's not that bad. if you get to know him, well, he's always rude to me, said Sakura. Let me ask you something, Sakura. Don't you constantly insult him? Aren't you always berating him and saying that Sasuke is the greatest like he's the weakest? What does that have to do with anything? Don't you think he has feeling? I mean, he does, you know that, right? Yeah, I do, but come on, Sakura. You're smarter than this. It's so much that a person can take before they snap. Look, let's just leave the topic for now. I want to talk about you, what you've been up to. It's been a few weeks since I last saw you. Alright, fine, said Sakura. Well, we've been on a few missions since. Meanwhile, they were talking. Naruto sat on his bed as his eyes were closed. In his mindscape, Naruto was looking up at the heavens, as it was a beautiful night sky that was just illuminating. It was currently nighttime in his mindscape. The heavens were castrating down a beautiful light as he lay there. Naruto was now 14 years old. He has grown a lot in the past months. More ways than one, that is. That is when he heard something beside him as he looked over. There was a gigantic pond. Someone slowly emerged. It was Kurumi. And she wasn't wearing a damn thing. As she walked over towards him, that smile on her lips as she sat down, before she lay beside him, completely naked. You know, clothes does exist, said Naruto. And besides, you can meet them by just thinking of it. Well, I like to feel free, she said. Even though it's not real, the breeze, the air rushing up against my skin, it's wonderful. She said, the smile on her face. Besides, I'm doing this to help you. You mean walking around naked in front of me is helping me? How? Well, she said, as she trailed a finger across his chest. This is so when you start to seek the female flesh in the outside world, you won't become that flustered or surprised by anything. You will already know how things look. Well, I'm a figment of most of their imagination because my body is literally perfect, she said. As you can see for yourself. Go ahead, feel, she said. Maybe some other time, said Naruto. You know, if I hadn't seen you staring at me, I would believe that you are into guys, she said to him. Well, I'm not, said Naruto. And yet you're just so relaxed with this. So you can see that my training for your mental stability for the female flesh had worked. I suppose it has, said Naruto. You know, you've become a bit more cynical in the past few months. I have, said Naruto. Yes, I found you staring at the heavens more than once now, she said as clothing started to appear over her. It was a white yukata that hugged her frame perfectly, showing off some cleavage. You've been awfully quiet a lot of times. Thinking, planning. I know it has to be a lot. Why don't you just unwind for a while and relax? Besides, the time dilation in here is a lot different from the outside. So just relax. You'll get your revenge. Everything will change soon. You've already set certain plans in motion. And besides, I'll be here to help you along the way. How much more could I ask of you, said Naruto. I mean, you've already done so much. After all, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even be here right now because that memory would have been sealed away. I guess I'm just a bit upset about what she asks, that I can't free you. She looked a bit surprised. Has that been on your mind? Of course, said Naruto. Having you inside here was fun, but what gives me the right to take away your freedom? I mean, that is what they want to do to me. Lock me away. And yet I'm doing the same thing to you. I'm such a hypocrite. She walked over as she placed her hands on both of his cheeks. As she looked him right in the eyes. Don't ever say that about yourself. You did not ask for this. You were given this. Due to the things that I've done because of me even being here, I should be locked away. I should be punished. But yet you forgive me over and over again. So don't you ever blame yourself. Do you understand me? She said. As Naruto sighed, as that made her smile, she leaned in and kissed him on his forehead. Their relationship was strange. Most time it seemed sexual. Some other time it seems like a mother talking to a son. And some other time it seems too friendly. It was just strange. And despite that they haven't really done anything, Despite her constant teasing, it was just the way that she was. As Naruto sighs, he sat back down. I guess I have become a bit more cynical. I've started to understand the world for what it truly is. And I realized that if it hadn't changed, well, I would have just remained the same and the world would have carried on. And also, my heart has become so cold and dark. I'm going to hurt Ino, her entire family, in the worstest way possible. I'm gonna hurt the Hokage. I'm gonna hurt everyone that he loves. I'm gonna burn, destroy nations, and yet... It doesn't bother me, said Naruto. She placed a hand over his chest. You're not dark. Well, in a way you are, but you just understand the necessity of change. That change must happen sooner or later, or the world would swallow itself into nothing but chaos. This world is led by leaders that don't understand what they want. It needs someone to rule it, someone to control it. And you, my champion, you are that person. And with my help, trust me, you will reach that, she said with a smile. As Naruto simply smiled back at her. Some time later, he opened his eyes. As Naruto was on his bed. A lot has happened in the past few months. For one thing, he glanced over towards his blade. When a person could make weapons and blades, it would seem rather rhetorical for them to buy an expensive blade like that one, and rather stupid to waste the cash. However, Naruto Chakra was the sole creator of the blade that he could make. That meant that if other chakra came in contact with it, it would destabilize. That is why he bought that. The material, how it was crafted, not to mention, Kurumi had a Uzumaki friend. She said that her name was Kimiko. Kurumi had saw her use Fuinjutsu, as the girl had been enlightened to teach her and tell her many things, despite who she is, and Kurumi had passed that knowledge on to Naruto. Fuinjutsu that this world has never yet seen has been implanted into his brain, and Naruto applied that to the blade that he had. The blade was special. In a way you can call it sentient. It had a sentient mind of its own. While it could not speak or even make a mental contact with Naruto, it knew who was its wielder. That is why another could not wield Naruto blade. Not to mention Kurumi chakra was inside of it as well, along with Naruto more deadly chakra natures. As Naruto abilities have come far as well. Several things that he didn't know at first, he now knew. He also awakened in several more things. It turns out that the Uzumaki lineage was 13. There was 13 line of Uzumakis that came together to create the perfect line. They called them the Chosen Ones. However, none of the Chosen Ones were able to awaken even 3 of the bloodlines. Some awakened 2 or 1. They needed Kurumi's chakra to mix them all together. And Kurumi did that for Naruto, making him very, very special and also very, very dangerous as well. There was a lot that Naruto has done over the past 6 months. Sealing Fuinjutsu was amazing. It could allow you to gain many things that you wouldn't normally hear or understand. However, because of that, Naruto knew things that he should not know. And that is why, well, that will come soon enough. As Naruto picked himself up, making his way towards the far wall, once he arrived there, he went to the bathroom. He had stopped to make sure that she was here. She had been here less frequency. The envoy that the Hokage had sent to watch him. It seems that the Hokage did not understand or couldn't find out what was going on, so he sent her off duty most time, but sometimes she was still here. Going to the bathroom, Naruto went through hand sign. Before he slammed his hand on the mirror started to light up, as Naruto's body was literally sucked into it, and he was gone. A few seconds afterwards, a seal appeared on the ground before, poof, a clone of Naruto stood there as he exited the bathroom and made his way inside. He didn't know how long he would be gone for, that is why he couldn't just leave without leaving a clone here. Time skip. Tomorrow was a big day. The Chunin exams. People were coming from all parts of the nations to witness his exams. There were some special people this year taking part. From different lands, different nations. Many people that were coming to test their strength to see what Konoha was capable of. At the moment, Naruto was walking down the street, as he was gonna meet up with Kakashi. That is when he heard, "Naruto!" as he turned to see Sakura. As he saw her walking towards him in a hurry. "Ah, good morning," he said. Sakura just could not get him. Sometimes he could be the most arrogant, insulting bastard ever, and sometimes he was just so nice. It was like he was bipolar. She just couldn't get him sometime. Gonna meet up with Kakashi Sensei? Yes. I presume that you're gonna do the same, said Naruto. Yeah, she said. Hey, can I ask you something? Sure. What would you like to ask me? It's about Ino. You know her, right? Yes, we've met, said Naruto. Well, she said that you guys are friends. Is it so hard to believe, said Naruto, that I have other friends? No, I'm not trying to be... Look, have I been that bad, she asks. What do you mean, said Naruto. Well, I was talking to her and she said that I've been rude to you. Well, you have insulted me a lot and tried to punch me a lot. So in a way, yes. Well, I'm... However, a shout cut her off, as Naruto tilted his head and started to walk away from her. Hey, she said, I wasn't done talking. And you believe me to be listening, said Naruto. What? She said. However, he ignored her, as he turned the corner to see one of his targets, Konohamaru Sarutobi, being held up by a boy from the sand, as Naruto noticed a headband. And there was a blonde kunoichi with pigtails. Well, said Kurumi inside his mind. It seems like someone's eyes is wandering. It seems you do have a taste for the female flesh. Well, she's indeed beautiful, said Naruto, and also look like a real kunoichi, unlike the pathetic fangirls we have here in Konoha. You're right about that. However, something is strange here. What do you mean? A smile came to Kuromi's face. There's another Jinchuriki here. Really, said Naruto. Their seal must be really weakened. And I know exactly who it is. That little bitch. Who are you talking about, said Naruto. Shikaku, the One-Tails. She's always been jealous of me. Crazy because I'm the most strongest, and she's the weakest. We usually fight in the olden days. We end up destroying the locations of nations, wiping out places that would be seen as an entire village when we fight. However, I was always on top. She's the more violent one of my kind. More than you, said Naruto. Well, I'm just a bitch sometimes that like to see chaos, but she's more into killing human for fun. And you are too, said Naruto. Just when they piss me off, said Kurumi. However, some of them definitely need to die now. As Naruto was just standing there, Sakura moved forward. Put him down, she said. What the hell does she think she's doing, said Naruto. I mean, come on. She can't even stand up properly to fight these people. Just because she's gotten a bit stronger, she thinks that she's untouchable. That must be the case. As Naruto glanced up toward the tree, feeling something, and his eyes met with eyes of green, long red hair that was turned upside and down, a small nose, small lips. Her face was angular, in a cute way. She was wearing a red shirt with a strap around it. There was also a cloth that tied the gourd on her back to her, as she was wearing black shorts with sandals. As Naruto looked up towards her, Is that her? Said Naruto. Yes. That is her container. She won't notice me because my seal is more powerful. Why don't we have a little fun? If you say so, said Naruto. As Sasuke arrived on the scene as well, he threw a stone, allowing Konohamaru to fall on the ground when he hit Konkuro's hand. As Konohamaru and his friends quickly run out of there, Sakura tells them to leave. None of them turning back to see Naruto standing there, as he simply watched. You little shit, said Konkuro as he pulled the gourd off his back. More like a rap dummy or something. It was wrapped in bandages. You think you Konoha ninjas can just do what you like and get away with it? You have no idea who I am. It's time that I teach you some manners. However, before he could literally move anymore, someone appeared in a sand sunshine. Kankuru. Her voice was smooth, yet it had this tone of deadliness to it. What are you? She paused. Gaia, said Tamara, looking towards her sister. Her youngest sister, the most dangerous of the three. Gaia's eyes focused on Naruto. As she walked forward, swiftly as she appeared in front of him just a few feet away, as Naruto was a bit taller, around 2 or 3 feet. As Naruto narrowed his gaze, as he looked right in her eyes. Who are you? Said Gaia, as she felt something about this person that she just couldn't explain. As Naruto smiled, Gaia blinked, as she found herself standing on sand. She felt someone rested their arms on her shoulder. Gaia looked up. Mother, she said. Behind her was a woman. Her eyes looked like shurikens, with 4 dots at each corner, as she had creamy golden hair. She was wearing a dress that seemed to be made from sand, the material looking quite elegant and sandy as well. You bitch. The voice came out was rather harsh and angry. Oh, don't be that way. Gaia turned as she heard that voice. The area that they were in was split. Sand was on her side, but on the other side, there was pure flames. Red hot flames that didn't seem to affect them in the slightest. Gaia narrowed her eyes. You, were just the same, said Naruto. However, it seems I possess a stronger tail beast, said Naruto. Huh, that little shit of yours has a lot of talk, doesn't he? So much so I'm eager to rip out his throat, said Shikaku. Oh, come on now, Shikaku. Don't be a spoiled brat. Why are you behaving this way? You're really asking me that? I swear, if I wasn't in here, what will happen? Said Kurumi. Are you gonna fight me again? And lose for the billionth time? Shikaku gritted her teeth. What's going on? Said Gaia. It seems like this wench has found herself a new host. Her pathetic little bitch boy. As Naruto spoke, you two seem to really hate one another despite being family. Well, she's just jealous for more than one reason, said Kurumi. That I'm stronger and better in every conceivable way. Shikaku gritted her teeth. Oh, is that so? She said. And there was another reason, oh yes. She wanted to walk amongst the human like me, but she could not. You bitch. What do you mean? Said Naruto. Well, you see, I was the only Jinchuriki that can step out in the human world, as I am for a long time frame. You see, unlike the others, while they can also take on a more human-like shape by forcing their chakra down into a human compressed form, after an hour or so, they return back to their true form. However, I was able to stay for as long as I wanted. And you wouldn't tell me how, because you're a conniving, self-loathing, egotistical bitch, said Shikaku. My, where have you learned these words? I'm glad that you're here actually, because I'm gonna have my little princess here rip you apart. Oh, I wouldn't go threatening anyone, Shikaku. You see, my little boy here, as Kurumi rubbed her hand through Naruto's hair, he's 10 times stronger than your little princess. Oh, you have no idea what she's capable of. Hey there, said Naruto. Are you talking to me? Said Gaia. Yeah. As Naruto stepped forward, as he reached out over the sand, stepping on the sandy part as well, Shikaku watched him carefully. She did not say anything. Just because these two have history doesn't mean that we have to be enemies. Besides, we're alike. We can be sand shot up and came down towards Naruto as a geyser, however flames turned the sand into glass. As Kurumi raised a finger and wagged it from left to right. She said. As they blinked, they were back in the real world. Gaara's eyes narrowed. Mother doesn't like you. She wants you dead. Yes, I believe she would, said Naruto. Well, it was nice meeting you. I hope we don't have to kill one another, he said. As he started to walk away, the group looked at them confused. They just met and yet they were talking like they know one another. Just what in the world was going on? As Sakura and Sasuke came after Naruto after a while, they got their papers from Kakashi Sensei. He has told them about the exams before, so they knew what to look out for. Later that night, as Naruto had felt someone watching him the moment he departed from Kakashi, he wasn't sure who it was, but it was nuts. The woman that was constantly watching him, calmly making his way as best he could. Naruto felt something coming towards him, yet he did not move as the senbon stuck right in his neck. Leave it, said Naruto, speaking to Kurumi, as he knew that she could flush out the toxin. It seems someone wants to have a chat with me. As Naruto fell face first, the senbon toxin knocking him out even though he could have stopped it. However, he was curious to find out who was this person. This person had been in Konoha for some time. It seems their chakra was lingering all around. Sometime later, Naruto slowly opened his eyes as he found himself in a room. The place was dark, completely pitch black. His hands were tied to a chair. As Naruto had no weapons on him, his pouches had removed. They were over to the side. It was a good thing that he wasn't wearing his cloak. You know, if you wanted to talk, there was better ways of doing this than tying me up, said Naruto. Besides, was it real necessary to knock me out? Well, the voice was strange, sort of distorted as it spoke. I want to make sure that we had the time to speak to one another. Well then, what do you want to talk about? You don't seem worried. Despite not knowing where you are, you seem calm. You're intriguing, child. Well, what can I say? I'm a calm person. So then, whoever you are, how can I help you? Well, let's just say you intrigue me, and I want to know more about you. Well, my favorite color is blue. I like orange at first, but hate it now. I like ramen. What else do you want to know? Said Naruto. Amusing, the voice said. However, that is not what I want to know. I want to know, why do you fight for this village when they have put you through nothing but heartache and chaos? Treated you like garbage, like rubbish. Who said I fight for this village? Said Naruto. Pretty brave of you. You do not know who I am, yet you speak this way, not even knowing if I will retell this to the Hokage. Well, if you want, go ahead. I would just have to leave sooner than later. Leave? Now where might you go? Well, said Naruto, just give me a few seconds. The person had to leap out of the way as something came to them from behind. A sword appeared as it stabbed Naruto right in the stomach. Not bad enough to pierce through him, but hard enough to draw blood. The seal that was placed on Naruto's body restricted his chakra. It was quickly eviscerated as Naruto flexed his wrist before he ripped the rope off. He then pulled the blade as he held onto it. The person was shot by the blade that just come out of nowhere. Sorry about that, it's just I don't like to be treated like I'm being interrogated. Besides, wouldn't it be better if we talk face to face? I mean, I'm sure I can tell you a bit more if we get close and personal, said Naruto. Well then, I suppose you're not wrong. Footsteps could be heard as a person slowly stepped out of the shadows. Well, well, said Naruto. Now this is not what I was expecting, he said with a smirk. But it's wonderful. But guys, be and subscribe right here. If you want to see next person, do like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notification to stay posted. Remember, share all of your friends in social media platform. And also guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out the other channels. I post a brand new series over Anime Prince of What If Naruto was Deku's brother. with an OP quirk, guys. So go ahead, check it out, and enjoy. And remember, if you're new, yes, I indeed have 4 channels. Links will be down in the description, so go ahead, check them out and enjoy. And don't forget to turn on the bell notification to see exactly when I post. So without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys soon. Peace, guys.